I've been trying to call you. You don't answer the damn phone.
Yeah, I actually just saw that the missed call some minutes earlier before I was setting up these up. I meant to call you after the live.
No, I called you like 2 hours ago. I called you like an hour ago.
Yeah, I just saw it a few minutes ago.
You did the what? Say it again.
I saw the missed call a few minutes ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Your phone doesn't ring inside the damn office. It's my car. What makes it ever answer the damn phone?
I think the volume was low on it, but I'll see. I'll just try and make it a bit better. Sister Michelle of the BOB Reward Club, thank you so much for joining us on the stream. I hope that you
I got to join that club. I got to join that club. I always forget. I'm supposed to be joining that membership club of hers.
Yeah.
Each time I always forget to do the shit. You know, I got to tell her to send me the damn information again through my email because I go ahead and sign up this time.
Sister Michelle is
I think it's like only $25 a month or so.
She's watching us on Facebook today. And Sister Michelle, do you guys have an app already, or is it still through the website? Because I know the website is bobrewards.club. I know that particular one is bobrewards.club. But I do not know whether they have an app, but that would also be a good look if the company also has. Yeah.
I want to put it part of her website, so it'll be like an African base. Because we start setting up everything by the end of the year, everything all set up on the African business, we can have it still inside her BOB Rewards Club pamphlet or website or whatever they call it.
Yeah, it's actually like a database. It's a database where they do have they do have a listing of all the Black-owned businesses in different states, and someone can be able to actually get the services or products, from a Black-owned businesses, because Black people also, we need to get the economics right and have a strong economic power base by buying Black at the end of the day. And yes, we do have the website.
All those asking me questions about Kenya and Tanzania and living there. If you don't have a viable income, right, you must have a sustainable income. You can't go there with a little bit of savings and expect to stay somewhere. It may be cheaper than America, but Kenya's not. Tanzania, yes, a little bit. Kenya, no. These countries, I don't know why you African Americans think that places are cheap. They don't have, things are more expensive in Africa because everything is imported in. Like someone said, we're talking about a pack of oil. Like let's say, for example, I don't know. Let's say a pack of Oreo cookies. In Africa, they cost like $8. In America, they cost like $1.50. Things are being imported. They don't make shit in Africa. So everything is more expensive, but you don't make shit. Things that you import cost more money. Right?
Well,
so if you go ahead, Spike. Go ahead, Spike.
No, I'm just saying that's right. Even when it comes to coffee, we are some of the East African countries do have a lot of coffee, and the farmers are farming. But even the coffee itself is expensive. Getting that, getting the grounded coffee is too expensive because
they might farm it, but they don't make it. They'll farm it and ship it to Europe, and Europe will bring back it as a finished good, a finished product. And that's the problem in Africa. If you're going to go to Africa, make sure you already have sustainable income coming in. You have a hustle, because you will deplete your finances quickly, because you still have to have money coming in. So when you go down, you see some of these prices, and you get sticker shock. You're like, oh shit! The internet is much more expensive in Africa than it is in America. Yeah. Okay, you know, you guys in America, we got unlimited data. There's no unlimited data in Africa. There's no such thing like my phone. You guys know you'll pay for a month and you watch all the internet you want in America. In Africa, no. They got it set up where
they're trying to
data package.
They're trying to bring that up Kenya. They're trying to bring that up. They're trying to bring that up in Kenya. We do have Safaricom. They did bring up the home fiber, and they put up a home fiber unlimited. But we didn't used to have that. Safaricom right now they do have it. They do have a Safaricom. They do have the unlimited where you can go on an unlimited package with Safaricom. But it's not all places that you'll also find the right connectivity, even with the home fiber unlimited. You'll not find it everywhere.
So how much is that? Okay, let's say how much? Let's say how much is unlimited data then? Like, how much is unlimited data? Let's see what it is.
How much
unlimited data? I never knew you could get it anywhere. So I'm in Africa. I can never get it. They say, if you don't got no unlimited data here, what are you talking about?
That didn't used to be there, but the companies are not trying to do this. Let me see if they can put up how can I buy Safaricom unlimited data. Then I go to options, select whether to pay. Go to 444. Press the bulk button. How to buy? How much is unlimited data plan? They do have. Let me just give you an idea of how much. Let me just give you an idea of how much.
Kenya's a little bit more advanced than you might got in South Africa, but Kenya's a little more advanced than the regular African country. So this is Kenya. Understand? It ain't goddamn. It ain't the Central African Republic. Go ahead.
So for here they do have different companies. One of them goes for $85 a month. The other one goes for there's one for
$85 a month for unlimited. I think my unlimited is like $40. See, $85.
So you will find that is on. I think that is on. Let me see which countries are these. Let me see Safaricom, the local one here. How much GB is unlimited data?
Is it unlimited?
Cell phone? So
just
a second, let me confirm. Both on prepaid and postpaid come with 30 GB and 50 GB.
Got the nerve to be called Safaricom, but it's owned by the British. It ain't owned by nobody African. So don't get bamboozled by the name Safari.
It's the Safaricom one. They do have the $60 unlimited. They do have a $60 unlimited, and this is recent. I do believe this. They say
okay, hold on. When we move the studio to the new place, can we get Safaricom unlimited data there? Can we get that? Where is it? Where is it at?
It depends on the area. It depends on the area that you find the new place.
I know, exactly. I'm not going to count on that shit. I might only go to 3 different places in the government building some damn where.
I wouldn't tell whether we can get it.
That means the government building and where all the elite people live, like Kenyatta and his family and shit. They get it's around this area. It's in Kenya. Hey, but it's all around Kenyatta and his family. Well, it's still in Kenya, damn it.
But I think if you're to have more companies are competing, if you're to have many companies coming in, it might be difficult. It might be easier. The price might go down. But there's a monopoly. There's some sort of a monopoly.
But it's a monopoly. The British took control of that shit back in the 90s. They had Kenya and all these debt trap scams. Same way the Chinese learned from the British, from white people. They got them all these debt. That's how they had to give up the damn telecom community, telecom company to the British.
The two big telecoms are each Safaricom and it's owned by the British, and the other one is owned by the Indians. The second one is known as Airtel, and I think the Airtel is owned by the Indians. So the African really do not have a telecom company. The two big ones, there is Telecom and also Airtel. And
you don't own shit. Exactly right.
So one is owned by the British, the other one is owned by the Indian. That is the East Indian, and that is how these are two companies operate, even around Africa, not just here.
Well, not just in Kenya, around Africa. Exactly. And Viacom is another. Vodafone is called Vodafone. That's French.
Yeah.
French own that shit. They find that in a lot of African countries as well.
Mm.
So you don't own your own telecommunication systems, ain't even in Africa.
So you might not even blame the African. I'm saying you might not even blame the African and the people right here in Nairobi if you not find them on these streams. You know, occasionally you'll find some of the people have sent the links to joining us on the stream, but the cost of data is still very, very high. That is why you might not find people being able to follow through from the start to the end.
It's too expensive. The majority of Africans cannot afford internet.
Mm.
Am I gonna pay this internet bill? Or I'm gonna worry about eating. Oh yeah, I'm gonna worry about eating. Fuck this internet shit. I got to eat. Damn the internet. I can see likes and clicks. Damn, I like and I click. I gotta eat some food.
But I think in the next few years there will be with the digitizing of the economies and digitizing of things. You might find people now having houses where they also, the whole package where you get in the house, you also pay with the internet, and that would be a little bit better.
Goddamn $60 and $70 a month when the average salary in Kenya is $7 a day.
Mm.
It's even less than Tanzania. Average salary in Tanzania is $80 to $90 a month.
Mm.
$80 to $90. Usually, mostly still $80. Average salary in Tanzania is $80. $80. $80 US a month. How the fuck am I gonna afford some internet? $80 a month? Man, fucking internet. Shit. They get out here talking internet shit to me.
Now, that is the kind of challenges that you do have even getting to connect to the rest of the world. But I do know that eventually there will be the cost will go down, and maybe perhaps in the next year or in some few years the cost will really move a little bit downward, so that people can be able also to get on the internet really as they would. But the challenge is, I do know that it's kept like this with a purpose. It's done also that the cost of this internet is kept high with a purpose. It's done. It doesn't just happen by chance. It is also done with a purpose, so that people will not even be able to connect and know what's
to make millions of the Africans. It's always to treat the African. They always treat the African badly. That these prices don't make no sense. They're high all over the world, and the African has the least amount of money. There's always a purpose behind it. There's always disrespect. That's what I told you. Anti-African culture is global. It's always the rat raping of African people, no matter where you find that. In Brazil, Africa, the Caribbean, America, wherever you find this African at, is to impose all kind of wicked ass policies against them and to always exploit them.
At the end of the day, there is
the name of the game.
They want to make as much money as they can from the African content. But nonetheless, I want to get to updates on what is happening around this beautiful continent of Africa. First and foremost, we have seen the sentencing of the former president of South Africa. He goes by the name Jacob Zuma because he was implicated in corruption. And of course, there was a very, very long period of investigation going on. And right now, he has been sentenced to 15 months in prison. This is the former president, Jacob Zuma of the ANC. And I believe he will not go down alone. 15. Just the one year. 15 months.
15. Oh, please. He don't control the country. Ashkenazi control the country. They ones all the deals. Locking this clown puppet up is idiotic. He doesn't run the country. And he never ran the country. Ramaphosa doesn't run the country. They're nothing but puppets, figureheads. That's why when you go to South Africa, the African is in abject poverty. Abject. They don't run shit but their mouths. They don't run anything.
But he might also not even stay in a prison for long, because he is actually being sentenced because of the contempt of court. It's not really because of the case that involves him with corruption and with stealing public resources. This is because he has refused to appear before the court and also go and make
it's nothing but a show trial. He doesn't run anything. It's a show trial. He doesn't run anything. It's a show trial. He doesn't run anything. African does not run South Africa. That's a fact. African does not run South Africa. Let's try to think like he does. He doesn't run South Africa. People are in poverty. They don't have the money to put nobody in power who has real power. He never ran South Africa, and Ramaphosa doesn't run South Africa.
And the ANC also is not
and puppets.
They might make it seem
as if South Africa. You see. Oh, wait. When you go to South Africa, you see black people as let me say this. When you go to South Africa, you see the South African class and white people enjoying the fruits of the wealth of South Africa. You'll see black people as the servants in South Africa. Fucking serving white people, picking up after white people. White people just leisurely going about their goddamn day. That's what you see in South Africa. That black people are the servant class in their own goddamn country. But white people don't work. They sit there leisurely, have lunch. They take all the good shit. They live in the best homes, drive the best cars. You're like, motherfucker. Go ahead, Mike. Now you got it. Go ahead.
I think there's a bit of a delay on the end, but I was saying that in South Africa, it has a lot of...
Go ahead. It is.
I'm saying in South Africa, there's a bit of a delay, but let me share this video, then we shall continue. Let me share this.
South Africa's top court on Tuesday handed former President Jacob Zuma a 15-month jail term for contempt of court following his refusal to appear before graft investigators. Zuma is accused of enabling the plunder of state coffers during his nearly 9-year stay in office.
And the extent to which Mr. Zuma has attempted to justify his defiance through public statements is of no relevance. The statements were not formally pleaded, so fall to be disregarded. The Constitutional Court can do nothing but conclude that Mr. Zuma is guilty of the crime of contempt of court.
Zuma has repeatedly ignored requests to appear in court, citing medical issues and time needed to prepare for a different corruption trial. The judge ordered the former South African president to hand himself over within 5 days. 2018, Zuma was forced to step down after being forced out of his own party following a series of corruption scandals.
And of course, it has been corruption after corruption after corruption cases in South Africa. And I realized that for him, the people were also tired. The people got to a point where they got tired at the end of the day. And they decided that they will not be taking any more of his nonsense. And he was kicked out of the party, the ANC. I know that Akid is saying that the South Africans will not run South Africa. We do have the people who are in charge of the power. For example, you remember sometimes there was a claim about the Gupta brothers. The Guptas, these are the Indians. And they were said to have also a lot of influence in South Africa, even when it comes to dishing out of big government contracts over that particular period of time when Zuma was in power. These Gupta brothers are said to have also been running things from, at the back. They were actually also running things and deciding who was going to get what particular big contract, whether it be construction, or other different sectors of the economy. That is what was going on. And apart from those, the Guptas, they haven't been known as the Guptas. Apart from those, now we do have also the white minority in South Africa who also run things and determine how the outcome of even the political processes would be in South Africa. Therefore, I do believe this is just a slap on the wrist trying to have him in prison for 15 months. And this is not as a result of the corruption cases themselves. It is as a result of him refusing to attend before the court and give his testimony. And like he said, you will also find that maybe even if he is involved with the whole court process, I don't think they would be giving him a lot of time in jail. They probably might give him maybe 5 years, 4 years in jail. But these are crimes which he should actually have a life, no, life imprisonment, because he has actually made these people of South Africa live in abject poverty. And of course, they do lack even other different kinds of benefits, for example, decent housing and other things that perhaps the government would have been able to provide if at all it was able to fight this corruption to the extent, and also also get rid of these loopholes where we did have different government officials getting to pocket money from the public coffers, and having people paying taxes for nothing. You're paying money, but you cannot see where the tax money that you have paid is going to, because there's no development. Unemployment is at a high level. There are other different challenges. The healthcare sector is not taken care of. We also do have other different sectors in the nation not doing any good because of the levels of corruption in this country. You would see some of the protesters back then with the placards are reading that Zuma must go. And that is what has happened, that he has now been in prison he has been sentenced really to 15 months in prison. And we shall also be seeing how that particular one goes. We shall be getting to update you what happens with that. This is a 54 correspondence show on the Blackout Financial. In case you're joining us for the very first time, we are discussing matters Africa and what is happening with the South African state. The former president was the president before the incumbent. His name is Jacob Zuma. He has been sentenced to 15 months in prison for contempt of court, and he has refused to present himself before court, and that is why he is being slammed with 15 months in prison. There is also something else happening with the South African nation of Eswatini. Eswatini was formerly known as Swaziland, and Swaziland is known for the kind of customary practices that are all done, especially when it comes to the marriage ceremonies involving the king. And this is the King Swati. When you hear about the stories of King Swati, you will think that is some story taken out from some novel, or taken out from just a story that is far-fetched. But I want to share a little bit over some of these ceremonies in which King Swati, I think he has over 10 wives. Yes, he has over 10 wives. And each year he wants to go out there and get another extra wife. But he has done nothing for the development of his kingdom. Let me share that with you. Love like the sun, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. I haven't seen you for a minute. I haven't seen Love Like the Sun for a second, but I do hope that you are doing well. And thank you for checking in on us, and every now and then. And it's a good thing once you just get to find out what we are up to right here on the Blackout Network. It's a 54 correspondence show, and we are discussing matters Africa. For today, our focus is going into South Africa. I'm talking about some of the wedding ceremonies are conducted by the president. The president goes by the name Swati 3. Let me just show you a little bit of these. This is a little bit of the former lifestyle. It's a little bit of the former lifestyle of the president who is now being said to have ran off after chaos broke up in his own kingdom. But this is a kind of a lifestyle that he has been living in this impoverished country. This is Swaziland. Swaziland is a poor nation, but this is how the king has been living in the country.
Swazi's royal slave lifestyle. During his 58th birthday by June 90, 2018 in Swaziland, he had it for what, 1.6 million US dollars, and the should be diamond. He was completed graduation in England and received many awards. Swaziland King Liu's personal lifestyle has come under security. In the bulk of the millions of dollars he has spent over the years, the king in April found out to celebrity despite as his country continuously to its improvement. The primary development challenge for the Kingdom of Swaziland is to address the high rate of poverty and inequality in the country An estimated 63% of the population lives below the poverty line and about 29% lives below the extremely poverty line. Prior to the birthday celebration, King had received the delivery of his second private jet. This 1 in 300 urbans reported cost as much as 13 million after VIP upgrades, according to Swazi media. Ultimately, he is after fan of the BMW and other cars, and his family travels the world in luxuries while 7 in 10 of these 1.1 million US dollars. His lived lifestyle goes back many years. The survival of the king's travels to Japan and Australia on the trips estimated to have cost of 10 million. Swaziland for many that should have been used on education and health to other spending. As the result of this spending, the IMF esteemed that was advising to Swaziland's government of economical recovery.
That's a little bit of how the lifestyle of that particular leader goes. And I will call him a leader, a quote-unquote leader, because if you do ask me, he is also a man who really looks after his own interest and not that of the interest of other people. And it's a little bit of how he gets to live, so that you can see this is in Swaziland.
Of Eswatini and head of the Swazi royal family. He was born in Manzini, in the protectorate of Swaziland, to King Sobhuza II and one of his younger wives, Ntombi Twala. He was born on the 19th of April 1968. His older sister, Mantfombe Dlamini Zulu, was married to the late Zulu monarch king, Zwelithini Kabezukulu. According to the Swati tradition, the king can marry as many women as he wants. Every year during the annual reed dance, he chooses the new bride. He married 15 wives. 3 of his wives have left the royal house, and the other one committed suicide. King Muswati was born from King Sobhuza II and his wife Ntombi Twala. He was named Prince Makhosetive, that means King of all nations. He is one of the 6 sons his father had with his 126 wives. He started his schooling in Swaziland and later went abroad, England, to attend Stellenbosch School in Dorset. His father died when he was only 14 years old, and they chose a regent to take the throne until he reached 21st. Because of rivalry within the family, he was forced to take the throne at the age of 18, which made him the youngest leader during those times. He was inaugurated as the King of Eswatini on the 25th of April 1986, and he started to marry his first wives then. In total, King Muswati has 23 children with his 15 wives.
That's a little bit over the man that we are discussing about today. And this particular one right now, as it
Order
is,
Glovo and pay 100 bob delivery fee on Naivas Oil.
That is the leader over the Eswatini kingdom. It was formerly known as Swaziland. And you realize that this particular man really gets to marry a wife. He at some point he was marrying a wife every year during the Reed Festival. He does have 15 wives, and in Swaziland, of course, in Swaziland, Southern Africa, it's allowed. But what is happening right now is that there is a report that he has actually left the country. He has allegedly fled the country because of the protest that has been going on, because people have actually gotten tired of his leadership, and therefore right now there has been the president, the leader, the king of Swaziland. The king of Swaziland is the king of Swaziland. He's known as Swati, King Swati III. Swaziland really has been left.
The Swaziland king left. They got rid of his head.
No, they're saying there is some conflicting reports, but there is a report that is saying that King Swati III allegedly flees after the chaos did rock the kingdom. And this is a man who actually took over at the age of 18. his father also did have his father also did have so many wives, and he was the one who was chosen.
Hold on. He took over at the age of 80?
18. He was supposed to have
18, okay.
Yeah, of the kingdom.
Okay.
He was supposed to have taken over at the age of 21, but his father died when he was just 14.
How is it now? I know I went to Swaziland years ago. I remember they didn't walk around with no panties on. They had no underwear. You know, a lot of times they had their coochie just exposed and shit. I'm like, I like this country.
It's still like that. They do call it the Reed Festival in Swaziland. Let me just show us a little bit about what happens with the Reed Festival.
They still walk. The festival times there. They had a thing. They don't have any panties. I'm like, hell yeah, this Africa for real, goddammit.
The Swaziland, I think they want to outlaw it. I think they want to outlaw it. But the problem is, there is a problem of marrying off these young children to the king. You know, these kids are, I would just call it teenagers. Some of these girls are very, very young when they are being taken to these Swaziland to go do the dance. And when they are doing the dance, they do say that is where now the king can choose who will be the next wife. And I do see some of the girls are pretty young. I do not really get to agree with all these red festivals.
Of course, they're young. I agree with it. You know, nobody wants no old bride. Like,
no,
we want the young fertile. We want the young fertile coochie.
This is what was happening. This is what was happening one of the Reed festivals. Of course, they changed the beat. The beat does not. That is not a trap beat. The beat does not go like that.
The larger screen, like the larger screen.
This is an opportunity to bring them together, talk about HIV and AIDS.
Man, when I'm in Africa, I love African women, goddammit.
Also, talk about what is happening in their country.
This is a king right here. You can see him. This is him.
Yeah. It's a poorly run state. What is it? The Swatini people are part of the Zulu people.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Zulu.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are part of.
The dude is. This dude is corrupt as shit. Go ahead, Mike.
And they did get tired over him, and they are saying that there was a political chaos in his country. And he decided really to flee. The king, the King Swati III of Eswatini, formerly Swaziland, has allegedly fled the kingdom after the pro-democracy protest turned into chaos, according to South African news agency.
They want democracy. Good. I don't know if they want. I don't know. If we want. He's a corrupt king. If the problem is that he's a corrupt king. If you had a kingdom like ancient times where it wasn't corrupt, nobody would want democracy. You have a righteous kingdom. In Africa, there's no righteous kingdom, so I see why they want to get rid of his ass. You know, the exploitation of young women and all this other shit. You know, and the looting of the treasury is what he's been doing. But when I went there, I mean, it's a nice place. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in Africa. I love African women. Goddamn it! So go ahead.
I would also love to go and visit Swaziland when things are cool off. They are saying right now that there was some protest in the streets.
I don't know, Spike. You might get offended. You might get offended by real African culture not wearing no pants. Oh my gosh, she has no pants on. I love that shit.
On Monday evening,
conservative ass might get offended.
On Monday evening, the Eswatini leading store, OK Foods, and other outlets were set on fire as pro-democracy protesters turned into chaos, bringing the first threat on a monarch who has ruled the landlocked South African country with a free hand. He has not been challenged for so many years, but right now there have been so many people.
Did he leave the country, Spike? Did he flee? Did he leave the country, Spike?
The details, yes, that was according to the South African Broadcasting Corporation, but the details are still there are conflicting reports, but the South African broadcasting, the South African Broadcasting Corporation has said that he did leave. And of course, this is the news. African facts. King Swati reportedly flees following the raging civil unrest in the country. Since 1973, political parties have been banned in the country, where King Mswati rules as a complete monarch who chooses the prime minister, ministers, judges, and civil servants. This is a place where he chooses everyone. If you're a friend of his, you can be chosen as a prime minister, or as a minister, or as a judge, or as a civil servant. He really.
Hey, hook me up, King. I'm your boy. Hook me up, Prime Minister. And you're gonna be corrupt and shit, but you're my friend. Exactly, Kingy. It's a corrupt kingdom. It is. You went in it. When I went in, I seen it was a corrupt kingdom, but I had nothing to do with it. I knew the kingdom was corrupt, but hell, I still liked it. I didn't have to live it, but I liked it.
He has 15 wives. He does rule how he likes. He has 15 wives, and he was, of course, crowned the king shortly after his.
He has 15. Oh, Mike, he has 15. He has 15 wives, Mike.
Yes, he has. He chooses a wife every year. He chooses a wife every year. and he has 15 wives. 15 wives, and
that becomes ridiculous. That becomes ridiculous. See, now it becomes ridiculous, Mike. It becomes buffoonish. It becomes a laughing stuff. It becomes a joke. 15 damn wives, all kind of crazy shit.
And I know what has been happening really is that he has run the country as he wishes with a dictatorship. And the latest protest was sparked by a decree banning the delivery of petitions. And the Swaziland Solidarity Network on Monday said the king had fled in his private jet to an unknown destination. This allegation started after his jet was seen flying from Masapa Airport in the evening. But of course, people do not know about the whereabouts of the king. And there was, he has at least 15 wives. He has 15 wives and 23 children. And he was selected to be the king at the age of 18 years. That was in 1986.
How many children he got, Mike?
23.
How many children do he got?
23.
So how they go? So they'll be fighting over the throne. Who has succession? You got 23 kids. They'll be fighting and hitting each other. No, my mama, the head woman. Your mama sucks. They be fighting each other and shit. All kind of facts. This is instability, man. It borderline craziness and confusion.
And also, you also do find that he started ruling.
People fighting each other for power.
He has been ruling the country since 1986. He has been in power since 1986, even before South Africa got independence. 1986. He has been there since 1986. That is around the same time Museveni also. Museveni was getting into power in Uganda. You can also see
got power in Uganda.
Yeah, in Uganda around 1986, 1988, and they have been there ever since. This is over 35 years of running their country, and nothing good to be seen from these countries. I do believe, yes, they should be overthrown. I actually back the youth who are demanding for change. There might also be external influence, because even when you're talking about the revolution, sometimes there is people who have been paid to destabilize, and then something might be the goal to destabilize this particular country. But yes,
exactly right, Mike. Exactly right. Exactly right. I'm sure white people are behind this. I'm sure white people are behind it, but he ran the country so poorly that people are going to be willing to overthrow his no good ass. It's a thief, though. It's a thief, though. It probably wasn't serving he might have, the Europeans say, hey, listen here, we want to take this and take that. I'm a king, you're not going to take it. All right, dummy, we're going to overthrow you, dumb ass. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm just trying to check if at all Swaziland has a constitution. Yes, they do have a constitution, but I'm just wondering what kind of a constitution there would be. It's an absolute monarchy with constitutional provisions. And Swaziland
it's a constitution like this, Mike. It's a constitution like this, Mike. I'm the boss, nigga, and you do what I say. That's the constitution.
They say
I'm the boss, nigga.
it's a monarchy. It's a monarchy with constitutional provisions and Swaziland as Swazi law, and then customary law as well. And I don't know, but this is how it actually has been for a very, very long time. It was a British colony.
That's the Constitution.
But you also know,
king, damn it.
But you also know, Key, that he was a puppet of the West because he also went to British to do his studies. He went to do some studies in Britain.
I told you he's a puppet of the West. I told you he's a puppet of the West, and somehow he didn't do something they wanted. They overthrown his ass. Yes, all these kingdoms and things. There are no independent countries in Africa that are black. They're all puppets. Yes, all puppetry. When you don't do something that I like as a wife, I'm overthrowing your ass. You gotta go. I'm gonna put political instability in your country. I'm gonna fund radicals and people to get you out of there, so I can bring my puppets in and do what I want them to do. That's the course of business in the world. When white people deal with African people, you'll be a puppet, or if not, you'll be removed or you'll be killed. That's the response. You'll be removed or you'll be murdered.
He was actually taken to a boarding school. He was taken to a boarding school in the south of the UK, south of the United Kingdom, a school known as Charbon.
That's where they take, not just him, that's where they take all leaders' children too, whether it be Kenyatta, fucking Mahari, whatever that goofy motherfucker name in Nigeria, Mahari, Mohammadi, whatever, and all these other goofy Negroes, all their children go to these elite boarding schools either in England or Switzerland, and they're taught to love crackers and to be subjugated by crackers. That's the order of the day. They're given bad education, love of the enemy, and to submit to white people, to white power. You're submit, nigga. That's what you learn to do. They'll come back and they submit and give all the country's resources to white people while black people stay mired in poverty. That's the scam.
The kind of a way that he has also done his thing is also maybe perhaps the beast kind of way, because one of the eighth wife of his was found dead. The eighth wife of Swati was found dead because she had overdosed and committed suicide. I'm not sure whether she did commit suicide, but they said that she had overdosed. She had overdosed on a drug, which is known as let me get this particular name, because she did commit suicide. The eighth wife. He has 15 of them, but they were saying that she was unhappy with her treatment in the royal household, and this of course was them Swati. But the thing is, also a dummy. He's also
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm saying barely a week after the burial of her sister Nambuso Masango, the king's wife overdosed on about 40 amitriptyline capsules. Amitriptyline, which is sold under the brand name Everville, among others, is a medicine primarily used to treat a number of mental illnesses. She actually did get to overdose on all of those. He does not treat these women with the respect that the 15 of them. She did commit suicide. Her name was Senteni Masango, and there was also a time where the 12th wife also did die in hospital, according to the reports being that were given. This was the 12th wife. And the guy is also dummy because at some point he also chose in 2004. I understand that he chose a 16-year-old to become the wife, and this was in 2004, where people were
16-year-old. That's what you said, Mike. A 16-year-old kid.
Yeah. He chose a 16-year-old to become the wife, and I do believe he also needs to be thrown out of power. And you're saying, Spikes, is Swaziland considered its own country? I know it's a land inside of South Africa. However,
it is.
It is. Yeah, it is a nation.
It is.
It's a nation on its own. It's the same with Namibia and Botswana. Although Swaziland is really tiny. Swaziland is really tiny, but we do have the likes of Botswana.
Very tiny.
Botswana is bigger. But Lesotho, we do have two small ones, Lesotho and Swaziland. These two are sovereign
and Swaziland, yes.
Yeah, they're sovereign countries.
with South Africa surrounds. You got Lesotho and you got Swaziland. I've never been to Lesotho. I've been to Swaziland. I've never been to Lesotho. Lesotho's supposed to be in the in the mountainous region of South Africa.
But
I've never been there.
But the others are really considered to be a little bit, for example, Botswana and Namibia. I can really see those being real countries, but for Swaziland and Lesotho, those do not really appear to be real countries to me. And that is
because they're too small. But they're too small to actually be a real country. You're right. To be they smaller than fucking Rwanda and fucking Burundi. So yeah. But that was a little patch of land that they made to deal with the Zulus. To keep part of the little country, the part of the land when all of South Africa belonged to the the Zulu and other ethnic tribal people. And just to keep these motherfuckers quiet. Here we get a little dirt patch of land right here and shut the fuck up while we control the real resources of the country. Oh, go ahead, Spike.
No, I'm just saying now, if you look at the map of these particular countries and consider that the president, this particular guy has been in power since 1986. In 1986, South Africa was still fighting apartheid, and there was not really considered to be free or independent until 1990 in April, when South Africa was said to have gotten its independence with Nelson Mandela as the president. But I do know that there has been a lot of what can I call it? Let me share this map real quick before we go on to those before we discuss what is going on right now. But I think I am not certain whether this is an internal or whether there is an external influence to try to get rid of him after those years, since being in power from 1986. But as you can see on this particular map, let me share the other map. This is not the other map. This is Swaziland. This is where you do find Swaziland and Lesotho as well. It's like they are provinces inside South Africa, because you can see South Africa extends all the way up, and then we do have Swaziland on the side here. Swaziland is actually landlocked, so is Lesotho. It's also landlocked, and we also now do have Botswana and Namibia. Botswana and Namibia can be considered as nations who were sovereign, but when you look at the Lesotho, and I also look at Swaziland, even the people themselves, it's just the same people. If you're talking about the communities, you shall find the Zulu in Swaziland, and also the Zulus, the same in South Africa. It's the same communities, but they were sort of drawn out, I do believe, to bring more confusion and to bring more division amongst the people. These are like provinces. If you look at on the map, it's just like you would say with Eritrea and Djibouti. If you look at Eritrea and Djibouti, these are also like two tiny provinces inside Ethiopia, but now they are sovereign countries.
And it's a fake country.
Yeah, it's a fake
country. Eritrea and Djibouti. Carved up out of Ethiopia. It's like Togo. Togo should be in a country called Togo. Shouldn't be in a country called Benin. These are all made up countries by the cause division. They keep Africa impoverished.
That is what has been happening for a very, very long time.
Should be no damn Lesotho, no Swaziland. Well, he changed the name to what's Swaziland? He changed the name to Eswatini. What year did he change the name from Swaziland to Eswatini?
Now it's actually
he changed the name. The damn king that's now being deposed. There's no longer be Swaziland. What year?
There was also Bechuanaland. Bechuanaland, I believe, was Botswana, but they decided to change it into Botswana. But that was a Bechuanaland. Most of these countries did not have those original names. They actually just decided to rebrand to rebrand them. This was a Bechuana, which of course was Botswana, but they used to call it a Bechuanaland. And they also give one of their puppets the leadership of this country. You remember he did marry the president of Botswana decided to marry a white woman. he did not find any black woman in his own country that he could marry, but instead he decided that he wanted to marry a white woman.
A white woman.
Yeah, he was doing it for the sake of really pleasing the master. He was doing it for the sake of.
Was he the king? Was he the king?
He was
one of the kings? I don't think he was the president. I think he was one of the kings of Botswana.
No, he was the first president. He was the first president of Botswana, and I think they also made a movie.
Okay.
I think they also made a movie.
They made a movie about it. Of course they did. You know they made a movie about that. Yeah, they made a movie. Of course they did, Spike. Of course they did. Of course they made a movie. It's on Netflix and every other place. Look at the African king making love to his white woman, bringing back to all you niggas. Look at this. You worship this white woman. In all my kingdom, I couldn't find me a black woman. I wouldn't got me a white woman. The same people colonized us, beat us, raped us, and murdered us. And you look at this. She's your head of state. Yeah, what? No one does this. No one but African people do this disrespectful shit. No one. No one does this shit. African men and African women. No one does this disrespectful shit.
This is really marrying the colonizer.
Chinese marry no Chinese president marry no white woman on the. Here's the colonizer's mind. Go back. You got to go ahead.
No, I'm just saying this is marrying the colonizer. You can see the photos of the wife. I think he decided he wanted the one that looked like very, very closely to Queen Elizabeth. So he decided that he will be marrying that particular one. And I do believe she was a spy and getting to get all the info on what she was an agent. She was an agent getting all the info on what is happening now with Botswana, so they can be able to know where are the resources being discovered, and how can also how can we continue colonizing this country even as if it has been labeled as free. I don't believe Botswana
destroyed his own self. Kwame Nkrumah destroyed his own self as well. Kwame Nkrumah destroyed his own self as well, because when they were coming over those ass, no one spoke up for him because he went and got a woman that wasn't his own woman. He couldn't find no black woman in Ghana to marry. Not one. It's disrespectful. And no one does it but the Africans. No one does this shit. No one. They know that you're destroying the country from within.
This is utter disrespect as well. And you will see them being actually held as people who did do a lot and dedicate their lives to their own country. But the first and foremost that you need to do is also have a black woman beside you, because the others are really just agents, really just sent you to go and do all sorts of things. You can see some of the images here with Kwame Nkrumah. They call him the father of Pan-Africanism. But how are you the father of Pan-Africanism? You cannot even marry from your own people. This is a wife. You can see the images here, and this is a wife of Kwame Nkrumah, who was the Egyptian woman. And it doesn't make any difference whether she was Arab or Egyptian, but this is also a shame to the people of Ghana, and also a shame to the African people at large. The same thing also happening with the president, the first president of Botswana. These are people who are labeled as the founding fathers, but if they are the founding fathers, but still cannot find a black woman really to marry, this is really shameful at the end of the day. But nonetheless, what has been happening is that the people of South Africa, the South African nation of Swaziland, they have really gotten tired, and they have decided that they will be putting in the protest. We also do have some protests going on in Zambia. Zambia is also another Southern African country, and in Zambia they are saying that it's because of the upcoming elections. It's because of the upcoming elections. But we do know that people are also tired with the situation in Zambia as well. Because of the way their country has been sold to the Chinese and also to everyone else, apart from the African themselves. The people of Zambia, we have seen even with the treatment, some was it last year? I think last year I shared with us a video of one Zambian. But the Zambian is also shameful because he had married a Chinese, And when the Zambian came back, this was a Zambian man. I think he was about maybe in his 30s. This man came back. He was denied entry into a restaurant in Zambia because he was told that they do not allow foreigners in that particular restaurant. And this is a restaurant that is on Zambian soil. So there has been a protest going on right now in Zambia. Some people do claim it's because of the upcoming elections, but I do know that generally people are really not pleased with what is happening in this country of Zambia, and this has to do with the matter of the unemployment, the corruption, and also selling out of the country to the Chinese. The rights group Amnesty International have said that Zambia's deteriorating human rights record has increased because of the upcoming elections, which are slated for the 12th of August. It said the past 5 years have seen an increasingly brutal crackdown on human rights, characterized by brazen attacks on any form of dissent. The organization's director for East Africa did say, he said the protests were being stopped with unlawful and lethal force amid intimidation of those who spoke about corruption allegations facing the regime. And this regime is led by the one and only Mr. Edgar Lungu. Edgar Lungu has been the president for a very, very long time. He's trying to get into to extend his term. Sorry, to get into the presidency for another term. And it also mentions the shooting of people during the gathering of opposition supporters in December, as well as students who was killed during the violent dispersal of student protest. And this is impunity going on in Zambia. And when these puppet leaders do experience any kind of an opposition, they will try come back and try fight with or respond with force against their own people. And that is why we do see countries on the continent of Africa, we cannot really talk about leadership. We do have a leadership crisis. We do have a leadership gap. You do find people who are politicians and others who are just puppets being put into positions of power, not because they can be able to lead people into any meaningful kind of a development or into any meaningful kind of a future for their for the citizens of its own people, but because they are doing the most for these European for these foreign powers that were former colonizers on the African continent. For example, if you go to Zambia, Zambia is part of the Commonwealth, Kenya is part of the Commonwealth, Uganda is part of the Commonwealth. All these countries that were colonized by the British are still under the grip of the British. If you go to the French in West Africa, it's for most countries in West Africa, these were former colonies of the French, and you will realize that most of them are still under the hand or the control of the French, in as much as you might want to talk about freedom until people emancipate themselves from these chains by the French. The French will take in a lot of a chunk of the resources from West Africa. You go to a country like Niger. Niger has some of the best uranium reserves. And of course, these do not really get to help the people of Niger. Most of these gets to benefit the French at the end of the day. And until people get the right kind of leadership, which is a leadership based on people who want to do best for the people, as opposed to leaders who have been put there to look after the interest of the colonized, then we cannot talk about change or development or growth for these African countries in West Africa, in East Africa, in Southern Africa. South of Africa, you realize that the British also still has its control on these countries. If you go to North of Africa, we do have a different kinds of distribution, which was done in the 1884 Berlin Conference. And the damage from the 1884 Berlin Conference, you realize when Africa was being divided amongst these European countries as a pie, there was not a single African on that particular table. There was not a single African that you might say, oh, this was the leader of this area in Africa, or this was the leader. There wasn't any single African on that particular table, and that is how it was done. The leader of Zanzibar was said to have been to have had an interest in attending the Berlin Conference.
Well, yeah, they told him no. No, we're gonna conquer you too, dummy. You don't have any power. Don't know European power. Don't know European power. Respect you. How about you invite me? Let me put my interest in there. They say hell no.
because power does not respect weakness. Power does not respect weakness, and because of the division, Africa was weak. Even it was even from the internal division, Africa was weak. You would find this tribe and another tribe and another tribe. That also made it easier for the conquering of the African continent, and also having people think that they are different people. You know, you might now go to the people of the Shona, and they will tell you they are a bit different from the Dembele. Whereas we are just one people, regardless of whether you're talking about Kenya or whether you're talking about the Maasai from Kenya or the Maasai from Tanzania. We are just one people. But people have been fooled, especially with media and other different tools, with religion as well, into believing that we are different in any kind of regard. Nonetheless, Love Like the Sun, in case you wanted to get a hold of us, you can still, get us on our WhatsApp. You can give us a WhatsApp call on our 254-7544-2730. And now, of course, Djibouti. Are you talking about Djibouti? I don't know what you're talking about, Zero Mosquito. You're saying General Muswana. And remember, Djibouti allowed China to install a Chinese military base. We do have we do have the takeover of Africa, even with these military bases. Yes, I do believe Djibouti is one of them. But let me share this video, even as we wind up. There's a video of the distribution of these, foreign military bases on the African continent, and you realize Africa has not been able to put together its own military force, and that is why we are seeing the allowing of these countries, to have foreign military bases. You will not find any African military base in Europe. You will not find any, not even a single one, which can be said, oh, this is a Kenyan military base. It's in the UK, or this is a Ugandan military base. You will not find none of that. But let me share this video of the foreign military bases in Africa, so that you can see what you also need to do. Most of them, they are spread out. They all are spread out. You'll find not just in Eritrea. You will also find for almost every country that was colonized. Of course, the only country in Ethiopia, the only country on Africa that was not colonized, they do say, is Ethiopia. But in all these other different African countries, you will find these military bases who are really just there to look after the interest of their own people. WhatsApp not going through. Let me see. I see that you say now WhatsApp not going through. Let me see. Just try this number again. I'll leave you all on our WhatsApp. I'll actually also just get through to you, and I see if you can be able also to join live on the chat. You send the WhatsApp is not going through. I don't know WhatsApp, but let me just confirm what might be the problem. But that is a number. But before then, before I look that up, let me just real quick. Share the screen so you can see what the invasion of African soil looks like when you talk about the military bases on the continent of Africa.
Bases in Africa has become very worrying to many on the continent, with 13 foreign countries in 25 out of the 55 African countries having non-military bases. Welcome to Tunachiki, and in this video, Tunachiki presents the top 10 African countries with the most foreign military bases. This data comes to us from Andrew Atta Asamoah, a senior research fellow at the African Peace and Security Dialogue Project, the ISS, located in Addis Ababa. Today's video is brought to you by Sendway. Watch till the end to learn more about Sendway. If you like informative and educational videos on Africa, make sure to like subscribe to foreign military bases. This West African country has both the French and the United States of America military bases present in the country. Number 9, the Seychelles, with 2 foreign military bases. This small East African island nation has both the United States and the Indian military bases present on the island. The country has both the United States and the Russian military bases present in the country. Number 7, Eritrea, with 2 foreign military bases. This Horn of Africa country has both the United Arab Emirates or the UAE military bases and the Israel military bases present in the country. Number 6, Kenya, with 2 foreign military bases. This East African country has the United States of America and the United Kingdom military bases and is also the regional headquarters of AFRICOM, the United States African Command. Number 5, Somalia, with 3 foreign military bases. This Horn of Africa country has Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, and the United States of America military bases present in the country. Number 4, Libya, with 4 foreign military bases. This troubled North African country officially has Italy and the United Arab Emirates military bases, but unofficially it is alleged that it might have Russian and Turkish troops present in the country. Number 3, Niger, with 4 foreign military bases. This West African country, located in the Sahel region, has
that is Niger, which has 4 foreign military bases, including Belgium, Germany, and France. And also, you might also
exactly. We hear Mali tell them they want the French out. You see how I think it was Burkina Faso, where they murdered all these French people with the Boko Haram, but all these French troops who would definitely create this Boko Haram shit, and they murdered these motherfucking French. You ever seen nowhere?
We're losing your audio, kid.
Goddamn Boko Haram.
But you also realize, for example, a country like Niger, there is always fighting. So there's a correlation between these military bases and the kind of fighting and instability in a country like that. You know, the more the country is.
Of course, the instability is from the West. And you got the puppets who allow these people to come in instead of bases so they can keep control of African resources. African people are impoverished because they don't got the resources. And the country that benefit them, they benefit everybody but as I told you. There is a war on African people globally for the fight and wealth of Africa. Once you understand that, once you come to realize what's going on, then you can deal with it. And if you got no friends, you don't need no damn friends. Once you learn to unite African people, then you can take back the continent that belongs to you, which made your ancestors the wealthiest people on the planet.
But I think also what happens with many people is that there is that particular kind of, what can I call it, a reliance mindset, a mindset that is just there where people just want to rely on foreign reliance, which is, you know, so instead of coming together on our own.
You're exactly right. They made the African not cherish himself, to have self-doubt, to not trust each other. That's what they brought all over the world to African people. And the African people have accepted this shit, that they're dumb, they're stupid, other people are better than them, they worship other people, and they're taught they can't nobody do shit that's African. And they've accepted this mindset. And it's dangerous, because that's leading you to extinction. And game was always to extinct the African. I can tell you, it's always to get Africa without the dirty African.
And I see a commenter, George Waters, you saying, where there is a puppet leader and a group of white women, your people will never move forward. It will be a colonizer mindset. I agree with you, George Waters. Is this George Guy? I haven't seen George Guy for a minute. I'm just wondering whether this is a George Guy. But George Waters, thank you so much for joining us. It might be George Guy. We do have a brother on the network who is a George Guy. I haven't seen George Guy for a minute. that is always just thinking maybe it's a George guy. But we are winding up with the broadcast for today. We do hope that the people over Eswatini also do continue.
Answer your phone. I'm gonna call you after the show.
Okay,
I'm gonna
okay.
ask you about who we got coming in for interviews tomorrow.
Okay, okay. We'll set it up right after this. Thank you so much. To everyone that has joined us on the broadcast today. General Mosquito in the UK, much peace and love to you. Love like the sun. You can also call in. We'll see if we can. You can also reach, get across through that particular line. I do hope that it works. George Waters, thank you so much, and also Keith for giving us the platform, as well as also who was with us earlier on. We also did have a sister like Beara. And our Big Cheese are also on the stream, and also Sister Michelle of the BOB Reward Club. Remember, if you would like to get the database, so you can also find the listing of Black businesses, make sure you head over to bobrewards.club, and it's all about supporting Black-owned businesses. You can list your business on there as well. And I do believe if Black people want to get on code and also support Black businesses, we might stand a chance in terms of solidifying or creating a strong Black economic power base at the end of the day, because you realize that people have been off code, and they have not been able to really support Black businesses at the end of the day. So I do believe we might be able to build up our own Black businesses using a platform such as this. We do appreciate you for taking the time to join us on the show. It's always a delight. I see you tried calling. Kindly try again before we leave. You still get to put your message across. Kindly do again. I have seen you tried reaching as a love like the sun. You can also give us your thoughts on. Or let me try calling you. See if I'm able to get a hold of you. Hi, peace and love. How are you doing?
Hi, is this Spikes?
Yes, it is. I hope that you are doing well. Welcome to the broadcast. We almost are winding up, but at least you have been able to get across. How are you doing?
I'm good. This is Love Like the Sun. I want to thank you for keeping us informed.
Yeah.
And I'm not always able to check in, but I do when I can. So thank you and Black Hot Fire for keeping us informed.
We appreciate you as well, because even if you're able to come and have a broadcast like this without you also listening in and also getting to connect with us, it would be not really much effective. We appreciate you for also checking in on us every now and then, and we hope to continue doing this work. We also do have the Africa Today Show. I don't know if you have had the moment to check out the Africa Today Show. It normally airs every evening from around 12:30. That is 12:30 Eastern time, but that is around also 8:30 East African time. So if you are also able to check that out, that would also be really, really wonderful, because it's very, very much informative. And you are also welcome to guest on the show as well when you do find some time, and also give us your commentary on some of the matters that we are able to discuss on the platform as well.
Yes, well, thank you so much for the invite. I wanted to just chime in really quickly to say, it's hard to always write everything, so I tried to get it in. I think most of us are what's going on around the world today. How if we do not drop all the isms and issues, we are going to go extinct. That's the bottom line. So regarding Swahili land, your topic today, and the king being ousted or being exiled, I don't know what's going on. If it's not another African nation that caused that, meaning we are controlling to get elements so that we can control that land and start taking back over some time, that's not what's happened. It's a beast chess move. And the reason why I say that is because in terms of the reserve of gold in the landmass of Africa, most of the reserves are all North African countries, which are not us right now. I believe South Africa, Nigeria, and Ghana is one of the top 3 Black men within Africa that has a deep culture. So the move on South Africa is easily able to start vis-a-vis Swaziland because it's in that land now. And to tell you the truth, I don't know where the gold reserves are being held. It could be held somewhere in Swaziland. However, this is a beast chess move because controlling the gold is very important because as you see, the world is moving away from the currencies. And so, like Gaddafi did, which was moved the standard of not the standard of gold, but valuation of money to gold, lights out for him, right? So if we look at what's going on in terms of monetary control, look at where the gold is being held, and look at where Swaziland is located. It's a hard area to get to and to get allies to come and help us. So this is a move. So now that we know this could be what the issue is, I'm not sure. I don't know where the strategies are.
It might be also like you said, like just another beast chess move, because we do not know whether the influence is from around or whether the influence is just coming also from the former colonizers who were trying to also put up some other agenda, maybe perhaps with the minerals, or maybe perhaps trying to set up another base right there in Swaziland, which is now known as Eswatini. The problem is that there has been, because of the division and the lack of a Pan-African spirit among us, even us as Africans, we do see that people might look at Swaziland and say, oh, that's not our business. They might as well handle that and continue with what is happening. Even recently,
that is our business.
Yeah, it is our business. It's your business. It's my business. Is our business as a Black people, wherever you might be at. The other time we were talking about the South African region, we talked about Mozambique. Mozambique is also under what we call as the South African Development Corporation. And the South African Development Corporation has not also had enough power to be able to deal with what is the political situation and even the economic situations on the South African region. We do find now there is a lot of Islamic insurgency. For Mozambique,